This is the second call for all passengers on Delta Airlines flight 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒂𝒎 to New York City. All passengers on flight 𝒂𝒂𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒂𝒎, please go to gate 42.
Bring it begin with a drum set. Listen for an explosive live sound. The snare should be crisp and the cymbals should ring. If they become harsh or flat, the speaker's high-frequency response is peaky or distorted.
Shorty just hit on my phone, saying she found me from TikTok, but I got trust issues, ayy. I can't fuck with you, I would be in love with you, but this walk said, babe, I miss you. You got a boy best friend, miss me.
Ladies and gentlemen, aboard Anchorbaby Airlines flight to Dallas. Appreciate you boarding in an orderly fashion. We'll get started here in a moment. We'll be boarding shortly, everybody here. We're just finishing up a group 5. If you need anything from our flight attendants, they will be here to help you shortly. If you have any strollers or large items, please flag a flight attendant. They will help you. I got reports of a hostess, of a terminal hostess crying. A terminal hostess crying. Someone's fighting. I heard reports of fighting. Who's on board fighting? We do have air marshals on board. We're not Spirit Airlines. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have flight attendants come down the cabin shortly and prepare the flight for takeoff. Thank you.
Focus on cloud, it blinds you. Make people be scheming behind you.
Flight attendants, prepare the cabin for takeoff.
California remembers the career and legacy of Senator Feinstein. State Republicans are holding their annual convention starting today in Anaheim. Former President Donald Trump speaks today at the event.
Mr. Trump, the front runner for the GOP presidential nomination. KTLA's Eric Spillman live in Anaheim with more. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Frank. Morning, Jessica. Getting back to the death of Dianne Feinstein, people here are reacting to that. The spokesperson for the California Republican Party offering condolences here this morning and recognizing her tenure and the impact that Dianne Feinstein had representing California as she did for so long. We're here at the Anaheim Marriott Hotel, site of the California Republican Convention, and all these people here that you see wearing Trump hats and carrying signs, they are waiting to get into the banquet hall to listen to the keynote speaker. Donald Trump, the former president, will be speaking here at about noon today. And Trump, of course, is the overwhelming favorite of California Republican voters. There's been some polling that despite his legal troubles, the 4 indictments that he's facing, he is supported by 48% of Republican voters in California in the most recent poll. That's like 3 times the amount that his nearest competitor, Ron DeSantis, has. And the California Republican Party actually changed some of the rules to give Trump an advantage. They moved up the primary. They also made the primary a winner take all, so that Trump gets 50% or more of the votes.
You're probably the only one, but it's hard to admit that can't save me. that transforms us. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
I think I am the only one breathing on this planet tonight. Yeah.
How's your Friday going?
Cheap sweat, smothered makeup makes her face look as if they're solving and fourth base in the darkness.
We're getting out of here, flying out of Los Angeles International. We're doing the decoy flight to Dallas, flying Trump Force One while the president gets out of LAX safely.
High heels. I do believe in heaven and I do believe it's real. It's okay now, okay. There's scarlet leisure, man's blood pressure.
We got some weather ahead, but we're gonna get through it.
Come here and be gorgeous for me now. After all, I think it's evident that I am God's favorite one. Time I should have whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're flying. Kick back and relax. You're flying Anchorbaby Airlines. This is your captain speaking, the American Anchorbaby. We're on our way to Dallas today, Dallas International Airport. We got some in-flight entertainment today, so kick back, relax, enjoy your Friday.
100-year wine. I do believe in heaven and I do believe it's time. Faceless company, it don't matter much to me. 5-inch wide high heels. I do believe in heaven and I do believe it's real. Dream like mirror chase. I'm positively God's favorite one.
What's up, everybody? All right, y'all. We should have a nice show ahead. We're gonna get into some random stuff I didn't get into this week. See if we can do some halfway commentary here. We're doing all that and your calls today. We're using the airphone today, so we're chilling. If you want to get on the air, once we're up at our cruising altitude of 45,000 feet, we're flying flight level 450. Once we get up there, we will be opening up the airphone. That's 760-515-3855. If you want to get on the air, you want to talk to the captain and the people and the passengers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's get situated here. Let's get situated. The ASMR is going. The Trump Force One is flying. We're actually flying the exact route that the president took on his way to Los Angeles from West Palm Beach International Airport earlier this morning. As you can see here, tracking Trump Force One from the airport. We're taking the exact route the other way around, but on our way, as you can see, the route goes perfectly for a landing in Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. We're flying the decoy plane. Don't tell anybody. Let's hope whichever enemy of Trump isn't tuned into Nickstream right now, or else they would know our plans. So we're flying the decoy plane. What's up? The president was in California. Was? Who knows? That is information on a need-to-know basis. You don't need to know. Okay. Let's make sure we're situated here. How you doing? Everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Seatbelt sign is not off. In fact, we're still climbing. Have a little ambiance background. Climbing up there. Okay, let's get up there. 45 flight level 450. We have our clearance. Get up to speed. We are above 10,000 feet, so we will be turning off all of our auxiliary lights here. Runway lights off. Taxi lights, nav and logo off. Beautiful. Still climbing beautifully here. Make sure we're on the climb detent. See, we always do this. It's a funny little plane. There you go. Come on. There you go. Okay. Everything's looking good on the instruments here. We're above the clouds. Not too much weather today. Right on. A touch quiet. White noise was competing. Yes. Everybody was supposed to sit down. So you guys were making too much noise. Captain's trying to speak here. It's already hard enough, these pilots speaking through these PAs. Impossible to hear them sometimes. What's up? Hey, Kevin, Lizzie, Patriot Girl, TDS, Covey Clown. You already got a call. What's up?
Call from
Kendrick.
I believe I have Kendrick on the air. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Are you on? Where are you calling from?
Calling from where you're flying to, bro.
Oh, Dallas. What's up? We have Dallas in the house,
I thought you
in
were
the
coming
plane.
to see me.
What's up, Kendrick? How you doing?
Chilling. I guess before the show started, I didn't know what topics you had, so
Well, it's
I was just
loosey.
gonna ask
It's
you-
goosey. It's been a loosey-goosey week, really. You're welcome to talk about whatever you like.
Word. Well, so this week I was at work. I was listening to Jesse Lee Peterson, the show, and I forget the caller's name, but a caller called in, and Jesse's talking to him and everything. He's like, "Well, why do you get angry, or why do you, have these emotions, and why do you listen to your thoughts?" And they literally asked Jesse, like, "How do I overcome them?" And Jesse said, "Well, why don't you just start by anytime you get a thought, just don't do that." He's like, "You don't have to do something else, but like just don't do whatever it is you're thinking. Like start there." And I've been trying that, and it's pretty. I don't know. Like so far, it's been working really, really well for me. I mean, I already do silent prayer, but like I don't know. If all thoughts are evil, then it's like if you have a thought, and then I guess if you have nothing but thoughts, then just do nothing. But like do something when things are revealed to you. And I don't know how to explain when something's revealed to you. All I can really explain it as is I know it's not a thought when it comes to me, if that makes sense.
Right on, man. And so when you're saying it's helping, can you describe in what way?
When I say what?
You're saying it's helping.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Can
okay,
you
so
describe
I'm a
in
wife
which
and
way it's
everything.
helping? Out of curiosity,
Yeah,
this is pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, so I live with my wife, right, and all that, and she'll say
Oh, you're
stuff
married,
gets my nerves.
Kendrick. You've called my
Yeah,
show
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So I like to try and at least attempt to remember a little bit here. So you're married. Very cool. Go on.
Mm-hmm. And we'll argue about stuff sometimes, or something will happen, and I'll be like, "Oh, like you feel disrespected, so you should be mad now." Or like, I don't. It doesn't really come to my head like that as a thought, but an emotion does come over me in certain times. And then instead of being aware of it or conscious of it, I go unconscious and like let it take on my actions or my words, whatever. But since I've started to notice it, like anytime an emotion does that I start to feel one, or that I start to have a thought, I instantly am tipped off to like, just don't do that. Like that's evil. Don't do it. And I don't know exactly what to do necessarily, but I know what not to do. If that makes sense.
Right. It does make sense, man. That's very interesting. So what changed? What made you want to... So it sounds like you knew about the thoughts, but something's making you want to be serious about it?
Well, yeah, it clicked when I heard him say... Well, because the thing was, I don't think I was doing the silent prayer right either, because I'm Catholic, and I'd always meditated and things like that. So when I picked up the silent prayer, I was like, oh, this is just meditation. You know what I mean?
Help me understand. How, in your estimation, how do you see yourself doing the silent prayer wrong?
Well, before I'd meditate, so I'd focus on like one of the mysteries of the Bible or something like that, and then say prayer afterwards, not out loud, hooping and hollering, but that kind of thing.
So you're like talking
Catholic
to yourself in
teaching.
your head about whatever mystery and focusing on that, and
exactly that. And
doesn't sound like the silent prayer. Very interesting. Go on.
Yeah, well, then when I heard him say, like, whatever thought you have, just don't do that, when he was giving advice to the caller, it made me realize, and I started doing the silent prayer, and I remember him saying, like, observe your thoughts. And it made me realize that, like, it's a state you go into, but you have to stay in that state. So it's like in the morning, I started doing the silent prayer, and I would be aware of my thoughts while I'm doing silent prayer, but then I would continue that through the rest of the day. So if I have a thought saying like, oh, you should go buy some liquor later, I'm like, well, that's a thought telling me to do that. I definitely shouldn't do that because thoughts are evil. Or like, and you
That makes
start
sense
to
to me.
see it. You can start to see it. Or like my wife says something like, oh, I'm feeling angry. She shouldn't have said, and I'm like, oh, that's an emotion overcoming me. Definitely shouldn't do that. And so it's like once
And you're able to
aware-
drop it.
Yeah, because I know it's evil.
Right. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense to me, man. And that's why I always avoid thinking about how, you know, the silent prayer is supposed to be working on me or whatever. I just assume, I just know, I just always have like a baseline assumption that I don't know the exact,
Yeah.
way it's working or anything like that. You know what I mean? I give that no thought. I just assume it's
Yeah,
right. It's beyond me. It's a mystery.
Leading you.
I
'Cause
just
then when
show.
you get
I
your
just show up
thoughts
with a good attitude. Say that again.
Well, yeah, because your thoughts will mislead you. As soon as you think it's working, then one day something happens and you're like, oh, well, it's not working. Now you're misled by a thought
Right.
again. It's tricky business, right, with thoughts. But I started, even like with other things, like it doesn't even have to be thoughts leading to your actions. It can be thoughts leading to how you feel about something. So I noticed like thinking about life insurance and like kids and stuff. I'm just like, oh, I don't have life insurance right now. Oh my God, if something happened to me, like, and then now I'm all up in a tizzy, like all anxious, thinking, oh, I get life insurance right away, and you feeling some type of weird emotions, and it's like that.
Interesting.
You don't have to feel that way.
And it's funny, you never end up doing and handling and actually dealing with whatever it is you're tripping about.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you need or don't need life insurance, but you just stayed in your head. It doesn't sound like you did any action with it. Took any action.
No, I
with
didn't
it.
do anything.
Exactly.
I definitely didn't take action.
Yeah.
Well, I took the action.
I don't know if you're supposed to, but
all
you know.
anxious.
Right.
Well, I chose to stop feeling that way. There's that
Makes
action,
sense.
but yeah, but the part I guess I'm not there on where I know Jesse says be aware, so I'm being aware of my thoughts, and then I guess I'm just gonna be still and do nothing till something is revealed to me. Like, I mean, practical thoughts, like he always says, like I gotta cook, I gotta go to work, things like that. But as far as like, you know, other things like I guess I'm just
the way I just see it, for in my own words, like just simply, it's like you just gotta get used to catching yourself in those loops, in that weird state where you're thinking your way out of something, thinking your way into something, thinking your way out of something, figuring it out in the past, in the future, just trying to recognize when you're in that. And I think just recognizing it already takes you out of it.
Yeah, and
so I don't try and assume how the silent prayer it's working. I just do it. I just show up with a good attitude. Kind of like if you had like a dad or a boss, you knew this boss had every skill you really needed. All you had to do was show up. And then imagine you just don't show up. You're like, I found him. I found the internship. I found the freaking answer. He's going to show me. And he's like, okay, just show up in the morning and the night. And you're like, all right. And then you don't do it.
Oh yeah, you just like fail, like for no reason when you have everything right there. Yeah. I was just gonna say though, like, yeah, catching yourself in the thinking yourself into things, out of things, making yourself emotional, that's one part of it, but it's like, I kind of wonder about, because I feel like I've had it at times where like moments of like actual revelation where something's like actually, like I know that I know that I know, as Jesse would say, but it's not.
Like what?
I sat there and, not that I sat there and thought about it, but it just hit me.
If you can think of one.
I was gonna say when. No, I don't want to say what I was gonna say because
don't worry about it. It sounds personal.
I was gonna say when I got married or whatever, but then everybody in the chat called me a simp. So.
Yeah, it sounds personal. Oh, you don't want to get called a simp, but that's not a good sign. How long have you been married? I'm just messing with you. How long have you been married?
About 2 years. We're about to start trying for kids and stuff.
No way. What's that like?
Yeah. Cool. I mean, I don't know. I think your time that you have like to yourself as like a single dude, that definitely changes up. But I don't know. You just make time for yourself too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Can you expand a little bit? Because I'm sure there's People in the chat are calling you that anyways. you set yourself
I
up.
shouldn't have said that.
You
As
set
soon as I
yourself
said,
up. You set yourself up.
I hope they don't call me that. Like that was dumb.
I'm asking out of curiosity. You don't have to be personal because, I'm pretty sure there's some of us who are interested, and then we think of ourselves, what if we get married? It's all in the future stuff. We don't need to. But what you're saying, time for yourself, because I definitely relate. I love my alone time. I've always been totally fine alone. I used to just not want to, I used to just want to be alone, but now I'm fine with anyways, that's not even that true. I've been fine with all people, but I love my alone time.
To be honest, I would say you have to keep it because, and I don't know, I'm not an expert on women or anything, but my assumption is that if you make your whole life about your woman in the first place, whether it's your wife, girlfriend, whatever, you're just gonna lose respect for you. You're like, oh, this guy does whatever I want. How would you feel if I just let you walk all over me all the time? You wouldn't respect me, right? So
that makes sense.
Yeah, literally to just keep things correct and in order within a relationship, you gotta stay focused on you, because I feel like the happiness comes through you anyway. It's kind of like the whole
yes,
God over Christ, Christ over man. If you're not doing your thing, then
man, it's so true what you're saying. You're you're the cornerstone. It's got to be right with you. Anytime you're tripping about, I just know this is true. Anytime you trip about, I've been this way or that way with her, or she sees me this way, I gotta make up for it. Anytime you're thinking like that, like we're just talking about, thinking your way in or out of stuff, that's a huge mistake. You just gotta be good right now. Drop it. You're good. Yeah. Be good. Be still, and that's everything. The mood, everything is good. You don't need to make up for anything. You don't need to pretend.
Yeah,
posture.
You don't have to. In the church, the way the church teaches it is okay, so the man should love God, should love Christ, right?
Yes.
And the way that he's led by Christ, loving God and loving Christ, the woman should love him. And he should treat the wife as Jesus treats the church. So, the reason you're given that authority is because the assumption is that you're living a godly life, or you're living, a holy life in a way that you can be the man you're supposed to be for a woman. And to be honest, I know there's a lot of shitty women out there right now, a whole lot of them. But if you're living in a righteous way and doing it correctly, you're not gonna get those types of girls, in my opinion. I just don't think that'll happen.
Interesting tangent. What do you think about this? You're saying, if you're supposed to be this God, the assumption is the man is a godly man, right? So what does that mean if a man is married and he's not this? And the question arises: who gets to decide what makes this man godly? But with that question in mind, what do you think about a man who's, I guess, not godly in someone's estimation in a marriage? Does the woman not get to not obey, or what? How does that work out?
So it's not so much that the woman gets to not obey. She should, because that's the right thing to do. But the chances that she would obey a man like that, it decreases significantly, because the respect gets lost. And
that's a good point, man. Because
that man probably shouldn't have gotten married. But if he is, he can correct himself. But honestly, a woman who would marry a guy like that may not even want to, once he does correct himself, may not want to stick around anyway.
Point.
Every situation is different. But.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, that makes sense. They're not even going to want to, so it's going to make it difficult. Despite any because in my mind, it's let's say he's not godly, but she still agreed to marry him. So it's not like a get out of marriage clause. Both parties agreed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't believe in divorce.
So it's not about if he's godly or not. You agree to marry him. Yeah, that's what it's about.
They should be forced to stick together.
They should be forced to stick together. I don't know about that, but.
For the children, bro.
But she should obey as long as she's married. That's the whole thing about a marriage agreement. The whole thing is the assumption of saying I'm married is tantamount for a woman is tantamount to saying I obey my husband. As long as you're married, you obey your husband. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to describe. Right. Until you're out of that, then you don't have to obey.
But see, that's what I was gonna say. A woman who marries a guy who's not living righteously, I think that's the type of woman who probably never had intentions to obey in the first place.
Dang.
If she was down to be with a guy like that, you get what I mean?
I totally do.
So it's he just chose a bad woman. That's the other thing too. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of guys choose women off looks, and I mean, I'm not gonna say that doesn't matter. Of course it does, but like,
it really doesn't.
You need like, you don't think it does?
Oh man, think about it. Give me one reason how what matters in a marriage. The Chinese say an ugly wife is a treasure in the home.
Can we call this? Are you midget pilled like Joel?
Wait, what?
He released a short the other day. That was
I need to check that out. We're gonna watch that on the air if he has got a new short. Describe it.
It's his short. Yeah, dude, it's all there. He's like, I've seen a midget and they've been looking good.
Oh,
I did.
I heard that show live. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
that
he's midget pilled,
bro. I was cracking up. Joel Friday on Tuesdays. You guys gonna want to check out his show. Really nice.
You can get your super duper sweetie midget cutie pie.
That's hilarious, man. I remember that. I saw that live.
Yeah,
that was
dude.
Awesome.
You got to play that for sure.
I will. We'll check out Joel's channel. Yo, so I guess one thing here on just interesting topic here, marriage. You're married on alone time. This is my theory. Tell me what you think about this. That men, because I think I've met a lot of guys who run into this actually. I talked to a lot of guys who run into this alone time thing, this getting like just suffocated kind of thing. Okay. And I'm not saying you're suffocated, but you know, other guys. And my theories is that guys, so you get into a relationship like everybody does, fallen state, especially people who are not aware. You get into even, you know, more emotional things, sex. Anyways,
you lose all your friends.
and you get into the excitement of a relationship, right? Spending time together. She gets, and more importantly, she gets into that. She gets into the excitement of seeing you. Like everything about you in her world lights her up, excites her, blah, blah, blah. And so she gets used to that. But the thing is I don't think women realize how men are, especially when they get older, they get pretty good at getting their excitement on their own. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? Do you relate? You find a way to get your excitement on your own, maybe with your friends, but really you're fine on your own.
Yeah.
And so you start doing that, and you start missing that excitement on your own, and then you go back to it, and she starts getting offended because you're like, wait, where's the excitement we shared together? But it was a mistake to get into it. I don't know if you.
I think the excitement is there together. It just depends. Like there's a lot of things for us, right? Like getting married or starting dating was exciting. Getting married was exciting. I guess kids would be the next thing. And and I'm sure there's many other milestones that, you know, we share together. I mean, Lord willing, if that's how things go, you know, but between children and grandchildren, there's probably like a lot of things in between that you could share together. You know what I mean?
Right on, man. So what
it just changes. It's not all about the you know, I guess a lot of people call it puppy love, like that. It becomes something more you know, more real, I guess. I don't know if real is the word, but you know, it's just like
you gotta grow up.
It's love, but it's a different way. Yeah.
That's super cool. Well, right on, man. Yeah. How many babies are you guys gonna have?
At least 3.
Hell yeah.
I want to have the Holy Trinity, because the Trinity's real. Tell Jesse I said. The
Trinity's real. Tell Jesse. Okay, you got to call in 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒄𝒏 Thursday. Why do you say it's real?
I tried to call her the other day, but I was at work. I didn't want to be on the line forever. You know?
Why do you say it's real? What do you say? In your estimation, what is the Trinity?
God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost.
And why do you call that a Trinity? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh, because they're all 3 separate, but they're all 3 the same thing. I guess like one easier way to simplify it for a lot of people is like you know how water can be gas, ice, or like liquid, but it's all still H2O. Yeah, right. Well, God can be all 3 at once and still.
Well, I've always understood that.
The nature is the same.
I've always understood that concept in my mind. How the 3 can be 1 and 1 and 3, and I've heard it explained. I've always understood the concept itself. But for me, it starts to fall apart when we talk about Jesus and normal things in reality, like my life. And I can't, and I don't understand. And, you know, for me, that puts Jesus way too far away, in my opinion. Because why can't I just believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit? Why can't I just believe in them? Like, I'm not denying that they're real.
You say it puts them far away when I find that interesting though, because the thing is, like, it puts them far away, but it's literally what Jesus is supposed to embody is like God coming here in flesh to actually come closer to us. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting, like choice of words when you said that. Like,
and you say why you don't see it that way again?
oh, because like when okay, so the whole
You
idea
say it
of
makes
Jesus
it closer
is, like,
to you? It makes it Jesus.
yeah, God
Can you-
came down as man to be closer with us and make it to where we can all like obtain like grace and actually have the Holy Spirit. Like
How did he do
I guess
miracles?
for example, what was that?
How did he do miracles?
How did Jesus do the miracles?
Yeah.
Because he had the Holy Spirit in him. He had grace.
Yeah.
So,
Can
like,
you have the Holy Spirit in you?
yes, because Jesus died for us. Okay, so did this.
Interesting.
So Catholic teaching goes like this. Like, so before Christ, Jews and stuff could go to heaven, but they had to live a sinless life, or they had to do sacrifices on certain holidays, things like that to cleanse themselves, right?
Mm.
And God was like, man, these Jews just cannot keep, the 10 Commandments. They're not doing right. So I need a way to save them. So Mary, God came down in the form of the Holy Spirit, was inside of Mary her whole life on purpose, because God saw fitting that the person that gave birth to his son be a sinless virgin. So she wasn't, it's not like to even say that of herself she was like, sinless. That's why they say Mother Mary full of grace, because she was full of grace, full of the Holy Spirit. She gives birth to Jesus. Jesus is the Son of God. She was able to give birth. It was basically half her, half the Holy Spirit. Jesus comes out. Jesus lives his life sinless. And since he was sacrificed, now we are able to obtain grace or the Holy Spirit ourselves. Like, we can get it from within.
So
like
are you three?
So
are you 3 in 1?
No, like the Holy Spirit is inside you. Like it's literally one way you could say is like for example, if you have mortal sin.
Where do you fall in this whole story here?
Oh, we're saved. Like, we can actually have the Holy Spirit embody be within us now because of what Jesus did.
So are you 3 in 1?
Oh, because the Holy Spirit's inside. No, it's different, because it's like an entity inside of you. Yeah, it's like you're being guided by the Spirit. It's not you, but it's like guiding you. It's inside you. It's like one good way to describe it is, I've heard, like, if you're in a state of mortal sin, or you have mortal sin on your soul, it's like having a nasty, like, dirty house, and so the Holy Spirit won't want to reside in you because you're not in a state of grace. So
the Holy Spirit can be in and out of you. It can.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Yeah. If you're in a state of grace, it loves to reside in you. If you're not, then it's.
And how do you know that? I've never heard that before.
Well, there's venial sins and mortal sins. If you've done mortal sins, then it's not in you. You go to confession.
Wait, help me understand the grace thing. If you don't have grace, you don't have the Holy Spirit. How do you know that?
You'll know because you have either not been baptized, you committed mortal sin, but all of us are able to receive it.
Yeah, like, how do you know that?
You would know if you've done a mortal sin or not. You can just like literally Google search a list of what mortal sins are.
So that's how you know. You Googled it.
No. Like I read.
That's what I'm trying to understand. How you came to that understanding of grace and Holy Spirit and mortal sins. You read about it.
Yeah, read about it. Teaching from
in the Bible.
Priests, Oh, in the Bible.
Or where? Just like out of curiosity, like
no, from the church, from Catholic teaching.
Oh,
it's not from the Bible though. And so, okay, that's another thing people say was like, oh, where does it say that in the Bible? Well, in the Bible though, it does say. I'm not a thumper enough to like point the chapters, but in the Bible it does say when Jesus, he looked at Peter and says, "I'll build a church upon this rock, and I'll always be with you." That's him saying he'll always be with the church. So like any types of rules and things that the church had came up with after that, it's guided by Jesus or by God. And so you can take it to the bank. And if someone were to say it isn't, then it's like, okay, so are you saying that Jesus lied when he said he'd always be with the church? Like, because God can't lie, right? Like, he doesn't contradict.
There's a difference between mortal sins and sins? Like,
yeah.
And what do you do if you commit a mortal sin?
Confession.
So you commit a mortal sin, you just have to confess it.
Well, you have to like.
So what
repent,
happens when you
and
committed that mortal sin again?
you confess again? I mean, yeah,
And then
it's more about if you're truly sorry.
So if you you commit a mortal sin, you confess, then you commit a mortal sin again, so you just confess again?
Yeah, exactly.
In anywhere in that process, do you ever question? Do you ever like?
Over.
Do you ever have like? Do you ever? Are you ever supposed to like stop and think? Okay, why do I keep coming back to this mortal sin and confessing?
Yeah, a lot of times, if you're just
Anywhere
like
in that
clearly
process,
not sorrowful,
does the church urge you to? Does that church urge you to examine yourself? Yeah, they do. They urge you to examine yourself and ask
clearly
yourself,
not sorrowful,
"Hey, you keep
or
coming
you
back."
haven't like.
Okay, go on. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, my bad. I was
This is
gonna say,
awesome,
yeah,
by the way. Thank you. I'm having fun.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, if you're not sorrowful, or you're obviously not making any changes to change like your actions or your patterns of behavior, they won't allow you to like be forgiven or give you repentance. Like, and they can tell.
Oh, my bad. They can tell.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if someone's like, "Oh, I have a problem with drinking," and then the next week he goes to a bar and is like, "Why are you still doing this?" Like, you're not even trying to change in any way. Like, if you're not making an attempt in any way, then they're just like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
So what do you do when you confess? You commit the mortal sin. You confess. You commit it again, and the priest is like, "Hey, what the heck? You're not even trying." And you keep coming back and confessing, and your priest is like, "Hey, you're not even trying. What the heck? I'm not even gonna forgive you this time."
Yeah,
what do you do?
What
do you do when you're in that situation?
Well, you got to change you. I mean,
how?
Put some effort in. Use your will. I know where you're getting at with this, because I know there's been times myself. You pray to God to change your heart, bro. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I know what you mean.
I understand that.
There's been times where my will is not enough. I know what you're saying. Like,
what am I saying?
I'm trying to change.
Wait, what am I saying?
Well, it's just like
mind reader.
Well, I don't know. Actually, yeah, I don't know exactly. Yeah, I'm not a mind reader. My bad. But
no.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. This is awesome. Thank you. You were saying?
Yeah. So sometimes it's like you try, or sometimes you just can't even try, because like you're just in it like too much like of yourself. You can't even do anything, right? I don't think there is anything they really tell you at that point. I mean, I guess you can just keep praying and hope that like God changes your heart, and that's about it, dude.
That's all you got for me, bro? I'm here on my knees. I'm crying. Don't you see? These are tears. These are the tracks of my tears, man. And I'm desperate, man.
Yeah,
Father, I'm desperate. I came to your church.
I mean, you gotta want it yourself.
Dang,
tough.
You're like tough.
If somebody doesn't want to change at all in the first place, I don't even know why they would have been at the confession if they weren't going to change anyway. It kind of sounds like there's some people that like this is a sin in of itself. When if some you know, well, some people are like, "Oh, I'm going to confession tomorrow. Well, let me go ahead and so like those are types of things that
and it's just a
that's
big ego
sin
thing.
in itself,
right?
Yeah.
And it's like you could do that with anything, with confession, calling the JLP show, going to church. You could be like, I got problems, and you love doing that.
And you know the other side of
that whole cycle, and you're like,
the other side of the thrill of it.
People think of me like this, and you love the whole thing.
Yeah, right. So like, there's that side of it where it's like you can get caught up in it in that way, but then the other side of the thrill of it is you got people that like literally will like get addicted to confession. Like they don't sin at all or whatever, but they like they turn everything into a little sin, and then they'll go to one confession and be like, "No, that person didn't forgive me enough. They didn't forgive me in the right way. I'm gonna go to another church and confess there because they forgive me the way I like it to be." Like, I'm not even joking. Like people who are insane and they're just like, they count like every single thing they do, and they're like, "Oh, my soul's in jeopardy. I gotta go to this place now," and like they freak out and get weird with it.
That is interesting.
And that's just as bad.
I believe that, man. Yeah, the nuttiest people probably are the some of these Christians, Catholics, whatever.
Definitely, bro. Like I won't even doubt that. Like like all Christians, I've seen it. Like you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And all races, all families, man. My growing up, coming out here, these Guatemalan ladies at 10 o'clock at night at Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Did I tell you about that, man? They have these churches out here, these like Mexican
party,
churches,
right?
Yeah, it'll be Mexican churches out here in Hollywood. and it'll be 10, 11 at night, and I'll see people filing out, and it's not a club. It turns out it's a church, and it's like a little Guatemalan lady with a tambourine, like crying, and her kids are with her. I'm like, this is truly scary. This is truly.
They probably be having rooster fights where they name each rooster after a saint or some shit.
Wow.
Some other Dios mío.
Dios mío. Yeah, going deep.
They start crying. Well, I live in Texas, so we got a little similar flavor of that, but
right on,
that's
sir.
crazy.
Well, sir, I wish you well. Last thing you want to say before we move the wheels here?
No, I was good talk about to tune in and just watch
Thank you, sir. Wishing you well, and don't be a simp.
Damn. I set myself up for that. All right,
hey, we don't know if you are or not. It's just a friendly advice from the chat, right?
Hey, baby, how are you doing in there? Oh, no. Oh, I'm exposed.
Happy wife, happy life. All right, on, sir. Take care.
All right, later.
Speaking of simps, did you know that Snoop Dogg has a funk album? He put out a little funk album in 2013. He was going through like a creative like snafu or something. And it must have been after years of being a gangsta. And I'll get to calls here in a moment. After years of being a gangsta, he puts out the softest little funk record. And if you don't know about Snoop Dogg, he has a wife who, I guess they were separated, and who knows, probably cheating allegations and this or that. And just the softest lyrics in this little funk tune, talking about, oh, we're gonna finally be together. It kind of goes hard a little bit, but it is really soft. You have to imagine, maybe the guy got really soft in his older age. Do the fellas just they soften up in the older age?
Let it go. You got to let it go.
And you know Snoop Dogg is, I don't know, we don't know. Maybe he's a Trump supporter now, but he was way out of the deep end. Hey, listen.
In my mind, I know there's no me without you. You know that we belong together.
We gotta do the stank face.
You got the upper hand on me.
7 Days of Funk, Snoop Dogg getting real soft for his wife in this track. Speaking of, hey, I'm not saying Kendrick's like this though.
You got to let it go. It feels so real, and my mind won't let go.
My mind won't let go?
Let it go.
You're supposed to be talking about real things at this age, Snoop Dogg.
With you one time, making everybody want to get up. This is the way we funk, yes sir, making everybody want to get up.
South. But I'm not saying Kendrick's like this. I'm just playing around. All right, we're in the cockpit.
Yes sir, making everybody want to get up. I said it slow, so let it
Oh
go.
yeah, here's where it gets real.
This is what
Where he gets
we
real
headed
emotional.
for. Once in a lifetime, you're my lifeline. Baby boo on the real, it's the right time for us to let it out and move you back into my house.
Less
And show you
stank
what
face,
this
Nick.
loving is
Okay,
all
all
about.
right, no more.
I really didn't think that I could turn you out.
So, where are we? We are 45,000 feet in the air, flying beautifully. Trump Force One. Where are we? I never know in this plane. The A320neo doesn't have a cool screen the way the Cessna Citation Longitude had. We're currently flying waypoint tags. And where is tags? Where is tags on the flight plan? We have it on deck. Snazzy new tech on deck. Flight plan. We are in fact flying. We'll be flying over Phoenix shortly here. Shout out to everybody in Arizona. Do we have any Arizona viewers? Arizona viewers. Shout out to y'all. All right. Let's get situated and see what we can get into here, huh? Oh, in fact, I have a caller. My apologies. Caller, your name and where are you calling from? Hey, caller. You're on the air. Your name?
Can you hear me?
Who am I speaking with?
Can you hear?
I hear you now.
Nick, can you hear me?
Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, this
What's
is Rachel.
up?
What's up, man?
How you doing? It's
Hey.
nice to hear from you. Yeah, all is well.
I'm doing well. I'm late to the show because I had to go meet our president, Donald Trump.
No
Shook
way.
his hand. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Folks,
I
this
did.
is a friend of the show here, a viewer in California. Not to dox,
Yeah, dude.
but that's
Yeah,
where you must be.
Yeah. My name's Rachel. I just shook his hand.
No
Like, I
way.
don't know.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the people want to know. What was it like?
What was the vibe? So I'll give you a little backstory.
Thank you, by
I
the way.
was coming home from the store and I got a text saying, meet Donald Trump at Carvel Ice Cream on Santa Monica Boulevard. And I kind of thought it was a fake text. But I just hit the address and I had like 30 minutes. It was going to take me 30 minutes to go there. So I just did a U-turn basically. And I pulled up and they had everything sectioned off. There was probably maybe, 150 people there, maybe 100 people.
No way.
We waited for about an hour. I did not get a parking ticket. Praise God. The other thing,
Nice.
in Beverly Hills, I did not get a parking ticket with an expired meter.
They're all Trump supporters by now.
Yeah,
They better be.
yeah, and anyway, he pulled up and did his whole thing, and the only thing I had with me was a dollar bill, and he signed it
Nice.
on his way in, and Secret Service is no joke. I kind of got smacked around a little bit because I was right in the front. It's all right. I've been to a lot of concerts. I'm cool with it. And then he did his little thing and came outside and we made eye contact and I stuck my hand out and he shook my hand and I'm like blown away. I just met the greatest president we'll ever see in our lifetime. I'm
Super
so blown
cool.
away.
Mr. President.
So-
That's super cool.
So I had to call because I'm like,
Thank you.
I love the Anchorbaby Airlines,
Right
and
on.
I know you're on Trump Force One, and I'm in the car, and I'm like, I just have to call and tell you that the reason I'm late is I had to pick up our president for your show.
Thank
So
you.
it's
Thank you,
actually
Rachel.
pretty
No.
legit.
That's super cool. And I'm glad that you called my show afterwards to
Yeah.
tell us about it. We do
Yeah.
love it.
So I'll show you the dollar and video and stuff on Sunday.
That's super cool. I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I will. I'm driving home, and I don't know what you're talking about. The phone picked up, but all I heard was gangster, and I thought you were answering the phone to me, and I was like, right on, man. What's going on?
Thank you
then
for
you
holding.
started
I had
talking
you there
about
for a
yeah.
moment too.
Oh no, it's not. No, I've only been on the
By
phone.
the way,
for
when
like
you're on hold, do you
7
hear
minutes.
anything?
Yeah, I could hear the show. Yeah,
You
then,
hear everything.
You know,
Oh, very
yeah,
cool.
yeah, I heard it all. So, and you're
Oh,
talking
that's good to
about
know. Super cool.
Snoop Dogg. Anyway, but I'll let you get back. I don't know what the topic is. I don't have anything
neither.
to weigh in, but this is the best. Whatever you're talking about, this literally trumps everything.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm excited. That's so random, man.
That is the coolest thing ever, though. I wish I got that
Like-
text.
Yeah, well, I think it's like, I don't know if you buy stuff from their his campaign or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't
Gotcha.
know.
They got you on the
just-
lists.
Yeah. So anyway, I
Loud and
will
clear.
tune in as soon as I get home and
Thank
watch
you.
the rest of your show. But
Thanks,
snoop
Rachel.
around Arizona, dude. You're flying around there.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
sketchy
flowing
music.
over Phoenix right now.
Yeah.
On our way back to Florida.
All right.
Very
Oh,
super
you're going
cool.
to Florida. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I will talk to y'all later.
Thanks, Rachel. See you Sunday.
Peace. All right. Bye.
Very nice. Saw Trump. We're flying to Dallas. This is the decoy flight. But actually, I guess we have Trump on board now. Rachel teleported in with the president. This is supposed to be the decoy flight. Hey, we're working with it. We're working with it. Hey, super cool. Our viewer, that means, what do they say? 6 degrees of separation from all people. That's 1 degree of separation from the president. Super cool. Our viewer there. met the president today, earlier today. And you know Trump, well, he's in California speaking. He already spoke. Skipping the debate. You know, I'm seeing this everywhere. I'm repeating a joke, but it's so true. Trump wins every debate and he's the star and the winner of every debate and talk that he's not at. And you gotta love it. We do love it. 2024. Okay. Trump heads to California GOP event 2 days after skipping debate, says snarky CNN. But, you know, he was in California, Anaheim on Friday. Apparently, DeSantis and Tim Scott are set to speak to the party faithful Friday. Really? 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 scheduled to speak to them Saturday. So everybody's speaking to these Republicans in California apparently, but you know, we're gonna do it in separate days, separate time slots. We don't want any problems. Interesting. California's Republican Party's executive committee voted this summer to adopt a delegate plan that could be a boon for the Trump campaign. If a candidate receives more than 50% of the vote in next year's primary, the candidate would win all of the state's delegates, the largest haul available in any state. We all know Trump's the guy. Come on, let's be real. Fake news. Trump's trip to California comes near the end of his busiest stretch. One stop missing from his... Okay. But he spoke. Thank you, Rachel, for your call. Okay, hold on here. We're in the cockpit. Make sure we're flying fine here. Okay, beautiful. 45,000 feet. Mach 0.8. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You can definitely call in 760-515-3855. We're taking calls here. Okay. Make sure we're there. Everything is flying here just fine. Okay. Hold up. How's your Friday so far? Let's get the cruising thing right. Any highlights?
Delegates up for grabs here in California for the Republicans, and there is a winner-take-all scenario now. So the former president really wants to sell his supporters. Take a listen to what they had to say. We just talked to him.
There is a lot
Was
of
that Jackie Chung?
This time for Trump, and I think because when it hits your pocket, that's when people really feel it. And I really think that Trump is the perfect nominee for today. So President Trump hasn't committed
Are these the Hispanic ladies for Trump?
Let's
We are in
say,
California.
done anything illegally, period. He's human. We don't want anybody perfect, but he is human, and he will, God willing, be our next president of the United States, whether he goes into jail or not.
Trump supporter is black, Hispanic, Japanese. We are Hong Konger. Hong Konger, Chinese,
Let's go!
Taiwanese. So all over the world, people were supporting him.
I feel like that's true. How come that sounds true? How come that sounds both true and wrong? Like he's just polarizing, I guess. All over the world, he's got supporters, but I guess he's also got haters.
So there you have it. Of course, the former president, as you heard, one of the supporters there addressing the 91 felony counts against him. There's 4 indictments.
91 felony counts.
Detail here.
You know, I heard a commenter recently say how it's so amazing. You get, for example, the Iraq War. How many died? How many died? Casualties of the Iraq War, 151,000 violent deaths. Where's the investigations? Remember, no weapons of mass destruction. What? Hello? What about a number of anything? It was someone was saying something really interesting. And everybody stays squeaky clean, but you take some documents, you come up, you say, I want to fix the border, I want to fix the country. And no, that's not allowed. You go to jail.
The Super Tuesday election, March 5th here in Southern California. It happens the day
Wasn't it like millions of casualties? Casualties of the Iraq War. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more than 151,000. That's looking like millions.
after the former president is facing his first trial date.
Oh my Lord. I'm the worst captain of all time. Can we just take a moment here, folks, to welcome the first class. I know you're already sitting in your first class seats, but we do like to welcome them over the PA here. Our lovely flight attendants already brought you to your first class seat. You're enjoying your unlimited drinkies and snackies. Carver531, thank you for your super chat. How can Jesus be God if he calls himself a baby? I mean, that's true. Baby Jesus? Jesus can be a baby. He was a baby. Was he always a man, though? Mario Baldo, thank you for your super chat. Hola, chico. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you. You as well. Kobe Clown says, would you or the crew ever interview Adam Green? Who's Adam Green? Adam Green. Who are you talking about? Who's Adam Green? Musician? Filmmaker? There seems to be a few. Steve Strock. Thank you for your super chat. Generous. Thank you, Hillary T, for your super chat. Kohlberger Art with the first class super chat. Thank you, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Appreciate it. What the? Hold on. Okay. Still flying beautifully? Great. Great, great. And that's everybody there. Appreciate it. Dennis 2020, Ohio Sentinel, TJ Hilliard. What's up, y'all? Over there in Rumble, rumble.com/American Anchorbaby. Marine Corps Chic? I've never seen that name. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. And I see you guys over there on Twitch. That's awesome. Thank you. Gorgonzola on Twitch. Okay. What shall we do next? You know, all this, we are talking about a few things here, I guess. Marriage, the Trinity. There's something I want to say about that. The Trinity. For me, how come I can't just, why can't I just think about it like this? There's a Holy Spirit, there's a God, and there's the Son. And that's enough. The Spirit of God works through the Son, the Father. The Holy Spirit is the teacher. Simplice. Simplice. I'm not denying their existence. I don't need to go any further than that. I could be wrong. But what else? I think that's everything for that. You know, there was something interesting on the Hake Report. Maze was on the Hake Report today. It was such, we got two things in the queue right now. Maze's Call on the Hake Report and Joel Friday. He's got some shorts. Joel Friday TV. Let's check out his YouTube channel. He's already putting out shorts. You know, I treat my channel like a arse. I'm horrible. I got pretty much all the money you guys gave. And I have this little plan with the mic, and it's going to be sick, just the whole setup. But I got to get down and get that done. And put out shorts and make my channel cool. Like, I treat you guys like a... What's it called? Like a wife. Like a bad wife. What's up, Kara Williams? Thank you. Says, hey, Nick in chat. What's up, yo? Eve was created for a great reason. Know and embrace that reason. Men are amazing, and so are women. Holy God is amazing. I cannot disagree, Karen Williams. Thank you for your super chat, and your first class seat is all yours. You say Eve was created for a great reason. What was that reason? In your words, out of curiosity. Thank you, Karen Williams, for the first class, though. Much appreciated. And thanks for tuning in. Joel Friday TV, you guys want to check out his channel. He's got great episodes. We were just talking about one moment. We can fix Nick.
Color really don't matter at the end of the day.
Okay, we're watching Joel Friday shorts.
Focus on the color really don't matter at the end of the day. The color don't matter. If she green, yellow, orange. If she small or big or midget. I see the fine midget the other day. She was fine. And I was thinking like, I don't know. Look. She looked at me one more time. It's a wrap. But it don't matter, right? Because God's going to add who he needs to add to you if you're just focusing on you and doing what you're supposed to do.
Come on. I'm not the blackest one. I think that title is it's up for grabs. It's up for grabs. Although I could be pretty black. No lie. I always surprise people. But I don't think it's that easy. Just easily given to me, the blackest one on the Bond Network.
Focus on yourself.
Come on, that was a good short, y'all. That was a good short. Check out Joel Friday.
This goes for all people. Focus on
yourself.
Yourself.
What's that song? What has he got playing in the background? Did this get copyrighted, Joel?
That's it. Watch yourself. Go through that pain of loneliness and all that stuff, which doesn't even...
I'm singing all over this short that we can't. I'm not letting you guys watch.
Focus on yourself. This goes for all people. Focus on yourself. That's it. Watch yourself. Look in the mirror. Go through that pain of loneliness and all that stuff, which doesn't even exist. Just go through it, and God will add all things unto you. It will happen. There's no maybe, he will, maybe. If you're meant to be married, it will be added. Focus on yourself, because that way when that husband or wife comes to you, you're ready. Paradise on earth. You know what I mean? It's about you. Get to know yourself. Overcome the anger and be the person.
Sorry. Very nice, Joel. Very cool. You could do shorts longer than a minute.
Focus on yourself.
That feels like it's nice and long. Definitely check out Joel Friday TV on YouTube. I have a caller. Thank you. Your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, Nick? It's Scott in Arizona.
Scott, Arizona. You're a little muffled. Make sure you're not on speakerphone. Help us out here.
Sorry there. Is that better?
I think that's better. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Hey, so I wanted to talk about two news stories. And
thank you. We got some content for the stream.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, sir.
And the news stories that came out of those news stories. It's really weird stuff. Well, one of them is like in North Ohio, there's been like 1,000 kids go missing this year.
I have this in my links.
Right?
Go on.
So what's crazy about it is like there was 11 kids reported missing all the way up until May. And then in May, there was like 37 or something like that, 34, something along those lines. But basically, there was like 45 up until the end of May.
45 missing children.
And then 950, 45 missing children up to the end of May. And then essentially 955 children in the last 4 months, counting September, which ends tomorrow. And these numbers were released, I believe, Monday.
What?
So that's like
right-wing conspiracy, right? It's a right-wing conspiracy.
Right, that's like, well, here, that's what I'm going to talk about. I was like, but that's like 237 children a day, or something like that.
200 what?
950 in 4 months. If you just average.
Oh, I thought you said
950 divided by 4, and then divide that by 30. I think it's like 237 a day and a half, something like that, right?
45. Yep. In this month alone, 45. I'm reading an article here. Go on.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of like those are the actual numbers released by the police, and then when you research, all the articles have like numbers all over the place. But then what's crazy, if you just Google missing children in Ohio, these weird cover stories get ran that say that like 16 to 18,000 children get reported missing in Ohio every year. But the crazy part is, when the police spoke about this earlier this week, and the district attorney and everyone, they emphasized this is a 20% increase over last year, and that's an alarming jump.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many lies in play, because that's what they said.
Wow.
And then, so to be like 1,000 this year is a 20% increase, and then to say there's like 16,000 to 18,000 in a year, there's so much misdirection at play. That's weird. Something needs to be studied there.
That is super weird too. Yeah. Do you have any insight into that? Like, is there another side to this kind of statistics? Like, yeah, lots are missing, but it's because,
Yeah. So there's a couple things they're saying, like kids that run away, will run away multiple times and be represented as multiple numbers.
Gotcha.
They also said that due to like police staffing shortages, they're having a hard time properly counting the numbers. But that sounds like there's too few reported, not too many.
Right.
But they're saying like, oh, the reporting can be inaccurate because of it. So I don't know what that means. That sounds like misdirection to me, but I don't know.
Strange.
But yeah, it's really weird because like what they said is basically there's 1,000 at this point. That's a 20% increase from last year. This is a disturbing trend, and it's an alarming.
Yeah, police say the number of
trend,
runaways is unusually high this year. In Ohio, 2023, nearly double that of states with similar populations, sparking panic among parents, police.
But they also said only 50 of the children haven't been returned to their families.
That's just a small amount. The rest are just still totally missing. And they stay missing?
Have not. Meaning like of the 1,950 have been returned, and only 50 are still missing.
So 950 were found?
Yeah. Apparently. I mean, again, this is just what they said in their press conference.
So it's an unusual spike in amount missing, but the overwhelming majority of these cases usually come back home?
That's what it appears.
Gotcha.
Like. I mean, that's what they say about missing children in general, right? But they literally said only about 50 of the children are still remaining missing. The rest have been returned to their families.
Strange. I mean,
it's super weird.
You don't need to really go into anything besides, I mean, not that you can't, but you don't need to go beyond the breakdown of the family here, as this is emblematic of that, if anything else, right? Like, okay, there's maybe some crime stuff, I don't know. But
well, something, I think it's like
losing track of your kids.
Yeah, who knows? But what I'm more interested in is the fact that it's being misrepresented to create two extremes. Because what they said is one thing, and then people basically saying, like, oh, this is such a big problem. This is twice that of other states, and it's an alarming increase. When you get down to it, like only 50 kids are still missing, and in like September, there's been 37 or so reported missing. So really, like, doesn't seem like that's really that big of a deal, but maybe it is. I'm not sure. But then the other side,
yeah, that still sounds like a lot of kids.
Right? Yeah, for sure. But the other side is then like, you don't understand. 16 to 18,000 go missing in Ohio every year, and it's like they're creating factions in our minds by identifying with the stories and the emotions they represent.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
That's what I'm interested in, right?
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, because we don't really know.
Yeah, we don't know because 50. I mean, how long does it take to return an average kid, right?
Yeah, how long are they missing? Yeah, there's so much.
Right, and like one missing is too many, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
That goes without being stated, even though I just stated it, I guess. But to be serious, like, yeah, any missing kid is a travesty. But if 1,000 go missing and 950 have been found and returned, and in the last 30 days there's been 40 or so reported, and there's still 50 outstanding, it sounds like, you know, there's like 20 to 30 kids that have really disappeared, and the rest are already found or about to be.
Makes you wonder, put a number like 1,000 and it turns out 950 come back. Maybe a lot of people react like you did. They go like, oh well, it's just 50, and so it makes it easier to forget those 50.
Well, yeah, but I'm not reacting.
If I was a human trafficker, that's what I would want the public to think.
Right.
I'd put out a number like 1,000, but of course that's just conspiratorial mind.
Right. Well, no, I'm not saying that's a problem. It is a problem. I'm not saying it's not a problem. What I'm saying is I'm noticing that they're creating two extreme factions to be at war with each other, and no one's focusing on just like the actual information. Like there's 50 kids that need to be found right now. Right. But
people
instead,
are like saying, no,
I'm
following. Sorry, go on.
They're creating two people in like a conservative mind and a liberal mind, and then they're going to fight each other.
Right.
Like, you don't understand the facts. These are the facts. No,
you don't understand it's 18,000 numbers and 1,000 a day and this many an hour, and then then you got the other mind saying, well, no, that's actually normal.
Right. And think of climate change, right? Like there's two sets of beliefs. That's what I'm saying is like they're creating beliefs through emotions. Because the fact is, some people need to get off their butt and go find 50 kids.
Yeah,
the rest is unimportant.
Yeah, true,
right?
true.
So then the other story is here in Arizona. There's this weird thing where like all of a sudden a bunch of conservative social media and things, and they're still posting stuff about this. It's like, oh, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs resigns. Strange reason. What's happening?
Okay, yeah.
And it's like this really weird story. And of course, like one base is like eating it up and being like, yeah, we need to get her out of there. Like she's resigning. This is proof. Like Kari Lake's court case is about to get judged on or ruled on. And then the other side, is like, you don't know what you're talking about. You guys are crazy. She didn't resign at all. Because effectively what happened is she went on a trip and appointed like the state treasurer as the acting governor.
Gotcha.
And it's interesting because then, right? So it's like, but then it's like.
Yeah, I'm seeing headlines say, no, she didn't step down.
Yep. And so again, it's like they're creating two factions, two mindsets, two sets of beliefs. But then there is something really strange that happened so Katie Hobbs went to go to speak with Mayorkas, which I don't like that.
The DHS.
I don't like that.
DHS
I don't like my governor speaking with Mayorkas.
Right, the Alejandro Mayorkas.
As they come.
Head of Homeland Security, my bad.
Yeah, and she's speaking with him because there are problems with our border that she needs him to invest money in, something like that. And then she's like meeting with other people in DC about our school system and trying to get federal funding for our school system. And she announced on Instagram like, oh, these 7 schools got labeled federal blue ribbon standard something. And I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't like federal money in my state.
Yep. Bringing in the feds to rebuild Arizona.
Yeah, the lady, something Yi, who's this treasurer who is acting as governor, posted on social media, in my 24 hours as acting governor, I'm not going to appoint anyone to these 13 departments that are within our state government that need like leadership appointed to. I'm going to wait for Katie Hobbs to get back to do it, but I hope she does it quickly when she gets back. And my conspiratorial mind is like, oh, so that's what this is all about. Katie Hobbs is going to get marching orders from these evil, corrupt bureaucrats that are trying to, and they've been very successful at completely changing the demographic in Arizona. And they're trying to basically know, like, who's in our pocket, who do we appoint to these positions to, like, carry out all this evil stuff. And, yeah, that's what I think is happening. But again,
so that's why they're
everyone's
not
just
appointing
fighting.
them.
Right. Like, why would she even say that? There's no point to her to say that.
Right, because like she made her the acting governor. What's the point of even making one then? If she's not even going to do the job.
Well, and
she's got to wait for the report.
Yeah, exactly. Katie Hobbs is going to get back and allegedly she's going to
right.
13 people. But it's like then she's just meeting with some of the most corrupt people in our government, on the federal level. And, I mean, if you remember before, I talked about how, like, in order to keep bottom-up control, the federal government has to be, you know, as small as possible and out of as many things, and the states have to be empowered.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, that's how it's got to be. So she's coming in, she's coming back, rolling in with the federal colors and banners.
Yeah.
With the fanfare saying, "We're going to make life better here."
Right. And they're trying to put this thing on or she specifically is championing this bill in our 2024 election to have the citizens vote on amending our Constitution to add in abortion protection.
Wow.
And it's like, that's so against America. We are not a democracy. We don't believe in mob rule and citizens voting to determine the standard of life.
That's not sustainable. That's crazy.
Right. And the whole point of, like, American exceptionalism is identifying, like, being real with yourself and identifying, like, what you have to offer the world and your community, and realizing the people that are the cream that rose to the top, and understanding that those people are better than you in some ways, and that putting them in charge of specific things is in your best interest.
Exactly. Makes a lot of sense.
And that, like, we should never want a group vote. Like, we should only want a representative vote because they get things better than us, right? Like,
Group votes are degenerate.
I don't want... Yeah. And, like, I don't want a random bum running my company that I work for. I want a guy that knows what he's doing.
Yep. So true, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume she's a liberal. She's a woman governor. So I just assumed
she basically had, like, a whole Biden. She ran against Carrie Lake, and Carrie Lake was super out there, in everyone's face, and talking about, oh, the election was stolen from Trump in 2020, and then they did it again in 22, or maybe that's when she lost.
Right.
But she pushed real hard and leaned into the conservative base, and then Katie Hobbs didn't campaign at all, and, like, hid in a basement and didn't do any interviews, wouldn't debate Carrie Lake, so no one knew what she was about, and somehow she won the election.
The Trump strat right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. And now, like, Carrie Lake,
that's the Trump strategy sort of right now. Let them ruin their own campaign.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Carrie Lake is the most people think that that's who Trump's going to choose for his VP and pick in 2024.
Oh, no. I keep hearing talk about this.
Laker, I think Chrissy Nome, is that who it is?
No.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just pulling.
I've heard that too, though, man.
But yeah, I know. I honestly think, and I might have said this before, but unless he chooses Larry Elder, he guarantees his own assassination.
Oh, what do you mean?
Because anyone is more controllable than Trump, except Larry Elder.
Oh, Drew, interesting. Larry Elder VP?
They hate Larry Elder more than they hate Trump.
Oh, you think so?
If he's the VP pick, there's no, and you know, they're in office, there's no way they're going to take out Trump to put in Elder. The same thing as why they haven't impeached Biden. Kamala Harris was the most strategic VP pick ever.
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Yeah, I'm following.
That's just my thoughts, which are, from the devil.
Right. I see the strategy, though. I see the strategy. Well, Scott, man, I appreciate your call. Any last thing you want to say before we move the wheels here?
Much love, everybody. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, sir. Gonna get into a couple of these stories and appreciate it. Call me again.
Yep.
Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Hold on. All right, kick back, relax. I'll be right back. May 27th, 1982, approximately 17,000 babies were found in a repossessed storage container in Los Angeles. Someone posted this in reference to this whole missing children thing.
Our story concerns abortion.
💐💐 on Twitter.
Again, strangely enough, in this relatively peaceful suburb of Los Angeles. Melvin Weisberg, a pathologist, owned a large storage container which he kept in his backyard. When he failed to make the final 2 payments, it was repossessed.
We made a decision to repossess it because his check did not clear the bank. And so we sent the truck out to pick up the container.
I rolled out there and took the box up and started pulling it up. And it was so heavy, it's just it broke the winch.
I'm seeing posts about this missing children in Ohio, and all the community notes. You know, in the community notes, it corrects the story. Well, it adds context to the story, right? It says, "Post is misleading. 1,020 of the 1,072 minors reported missing have returned home. They were runaways." So community notes is on it.
and we couldn't get it off the trailer, so we had to leave it on the trailer because it was too heavy. So I was asked by Nick to have a crew go down and unload the container at the other yard.
I got a radio call that from Ron Gillette, the foreman, and he said the men were throwing up and there was something really wrong.
One of them fell down.
Jose says, I'm one of those kids. I like this report just for the style.
And hit me right in front of my feet. And it was opened up, and there it was.
Oh, what the? Is this on TV? Am I allowed to show this?
Mutilated body.
Oh.
I saw it myself. I couldn't believe it. And just, just little bitty babies, just all torn to pieces. Their heads chopped off, arms, legs, just.
Oh, it's bones.
It just makes you sick.
Oh, yeah, no. We don't need to see that. All right. Thank you, Dom Lucra. Lucra. Jeez. Anyways, okay. You can call in 760-515-3855. Where are we in the flight plan? Okay. We're at Unos. We're at waypoint Unos. And that means, let's check our flight plan. Where did it go? Our chart. Ooh. Didn't expect to be here. Okay. We are flying. Where is we? Still in Arizona. That's cool. We got a call from Arizona. Very nice. Hobbs. We'll be flying past. In fact, we'll be flying past waypoint Hobbs. Speaking of Katie Hobbs. All right, y'all. Still in Arizona. Flying beautifully. Okay. What should we do now? What should we do next? Oh, man. Maze. Maze. We love Maze. We love Maze, don't we? Maze is a frequent caller on the network shows. Definitely on the Hake Report, big time. Hake's favorite caller. She, in fact, called Hake Report today. And the Hake Report had a guest on today.
To Twitch.
Come watch Nick's stream where I just cover the other hosts' shows. And Maze called with Omar.
JLP's network.
Interesting little call here. And she said something interesting at the end. She said something interesting at the end. And I want to watch it, okay? Is Maze on the plane? I wish Maze was on the plane.
Maze is from date.
We would treat Maze.
And then to leave it open.
She'd get first class, like,
Yeah,
we would treat Maze nicely. Hey, what's up, sugar pancake face? Got the Diet Coke on. I got the mini Coke on deck. You got the Diet Cokes? Nice.
Than they would if they just gonna do their job.
Why?
So what did you say? Hey, could you translate the
She's claiming that.
What did she say? Hey, can you translate a little for me? Poor Omar got a full taste of Maze octane to the brain, to the face. Maze. Poor Omar asking for a translation on Motormouth Maze. We love Maze.
Why?
So what did you say? Hey, could you translate the
She's claiming that, because I've heard too that.
So let's get.
What's wrong?
They talked about a number of things here. Shutting down the government, for example. They talked about shutting down the government, and basically Maze doesn't want it to shut down. It's more chaos. Omar agrees. Omar saying that don't shut it down. And these Republicans, they don't care about the country. They don't care about things running right. They're willing to shut it down. Evil Republicans. They want people to go out of work. They want Willie Joe. They want Willie Joe to go hungry and to take out a loan. Evil Republicans. Obviously, it's crazy to even think that, because that's just a mischaracterization. It's for a reason here. Can we at least be honest here? It's not to just shut it down and be mean because we want to fix things. You may disagree, but let's talk about things correctly here, right?
Are there any regulations that should be cut?
No.
You don't know anything about. You don't even know. You don't know what you're talking about, Maze.
Maze got destroyed here. Sorry, Maze. Look, that's just what happened here. Okay, Maze? That's just what happened. By heavyweight Hake. Look, don't feel bad. It's heavyweight Hake.
Being a know-it-all, and you don't
No,
know
I'm
it all.
not being a know-it-all.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, no, I'm not being a know-it-all, says Maze. I love Maze. So check it out. There's a point here, though, where she talks about how it's all these white people are fighting, and that they've made a mess of things. And it's time for a new order, a new way of life.
Derail like that.
That you can't.
Not what it is.
Let's get to it.
But that's it's not clear.
Can't nobody run nothing but CWP. A new thing.
But
because Omar was saying that Republican Party today, he says, can I be honest? The Republican Party today is only for white people. They only let in white people. They're only about white people. And Mays called in and agreed with that.
No, we're not the ones pretending that it's our country by ourselves.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, we're not.
Because you said your boss say if can't nobody run nothing but CWPs.
Right.
And but he's
Caucasian white people.
Just when I heard him say,
And she's commenting on how Jesse says, you know, your boss, Jesse, he says only white people can run things. Blacks only destroy, whites build, blacks destroy. And so she's saying that as a point. Yeah, the Republicans, the conservatives, they're only about white people.
this morning, I said, why don't he get one of y'all and he worked for you or Nick or some of them at the studio, and since black people can't run anything.
Right.
And that's when y'all psychic get messed up at.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a nice one.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Different people.
Where did you?
Like when he said when he was
hold
talking
on,
about
Mace.
that.
Hold on, Mace. He's
citizen of this country.
And
You know, there's a lot of
employing contractors.
Hold on, sorry. So you got that part. She's saying that you guys agree with Jesse, only white people can run things. It's true. It's only about white people. That's one point.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're not studying.
Just like they regulate the bank.
I want to get back to Omar because he was no, Mace.
You could get rid of some like.
Oh, well, I don't mean to. I don't think I'm going to find it.
Then when it came
okay,
to
hold on. I want to then name off a couple of the regulations that Trump.
The point is, she made a point. She made a point that it's white people running things. White people are running things. They're making a mess of things, and it's time for a new way, a new order. It's a dawn of a new day. She says something like that. She says something like it's a dawn of a new day. I wonder if I could find it in the transcript. That'd be cool if I could do that. Is there a transcript? No transcript. And here's the funny thing. Is an interesting thing about that she's not wrong. She's not wrong in that, you know, it's Patrick Buchanan who calls the world wars the greatest self-inflicted wound of Christendom. It was I think it was Lloyd George, Prime Minister of the UK, World War I during that time, who said, this war is the greatest, I'm paraphrasing, the greatest insanity of the white races, he called it. The greatest, and something like that. The greatest insanity of the white races. Because it was basically them fighting each other. Christendom fighting itself. The same Christendom that gave us the modern world we enjoy today. The same world that Maze enjoys today. That callers that hate this show or Jesse enjoy today. Even callers who aren't like the blacks, they're conservatives who are patriots, but they have the criticisms of the world order and they want to see it end. They want Trump to come in and change things. They see Trump as a revolutionary, and that's why they support him. You got to understand the implications. Revolutionary. Well, what? What does that mean? The end of the order that gave us the decadence we're enjoying today. So Mays is not wrong. It's like the white people are making a mess of things. But what is the thing that falls apart though is what are you replacing it with, Mays, and anybody else? What is it that you're replacing it with? You're replacing it with junk. I don't trust your dawn of a new day. But it's interesting to see it in that perspective. You see the sickness of the individual is the sickness of all of us, of the nations at large. And the people who are in the guests and the people in these nations are afflicted by the pathogen as well. the pathogen that's breaking the souls of people in this country. And we're seeing the symptoms of it, these broken families. The major one, broken families, broken people, broken families, broken country. So it's like, she's not wrong, right? It's like white people, they're having this like civil war, this great European civil war that continues today. Okay? It didn't really end. It didn't quite end. The sickness is still there. The great wars happened. Now the Western Christendom is really, we grew up thinking, wow, America, the West, just leaders of the world, unstoppable. But really, they're a far cry from what they were. And now in the shadow of the great wars, the wounded West remains to see what happens next. But you see what I'm saying here? It's like an interesting comment that Mays made. And you can start understanding how people like Mays and others are thinking. They're saying, they're reacting. They're being reactionaries and saying, well, we got a better idea. But I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure the idea they have is new or better. It's really a return to old ways. We're seeing it coming about in the country. Paganism, polyamory, the breakdown of the family, different religions, atheists. They call themselves secular atheists, but they all follow this weird new religion and its sacraments are the transgenderism, hating white people. Those are the sacraments of this religion. So it's just fascinating. I don't quite agree with Mays. I don't trust her new way, but she's not wrong. And it's this sickness. It's so weird. We're seeing this sickness in for example, in a training video in New Prague School. New Prague School. New Prague in Minnesota. How is it possible that this can exist in this country? This video I'm about to show you. It's only possible in a sick country like I explained. And people like Mays want to replace it with this. And what this is hate.
For people who still don't
This is a training video for New Prague School staff. New Prague School staff training video depicts white people as mosquitoes. Microaggressions. How microaggressions are like mosquito bites.
Microaggressions are a problem.
Oh, you're so well spoken.
Just imagine, instead of being a stupid comment, a microaggression is a mosquito bite.
Ugh, it's a compliment.
Mosquito bites and their itch are one of nature's most annoying features. But if you're only bitten every once in a while...
No, where are you really from?
Cleveland.
Sure, it's annoying, but
This
it's
is
not that big a
dehumanizing
deal.
language.
The problem is
Don't they know that?
some people get bitten by mosquitoes a lot more than other people.
Minnesota, Matthew.
I mean,
I think.
lot more. Whether it's on a date,
Oh, your English is so good.
Excuse me?
going grocery shopping,
You know, everything happens for a reason.
I'm just buying apples.
commuting to
Can you imagine someone actually doing that? Now, obviously, all the microaggressions are like racial. This is the one that's ableist. Everyone is racial so far. Oh, you speak so well. And so many of these can be perceived as not microaggressions by just simply not perceiving them as microaggressions.
Really?
Where are you really from? Obviously, someone's asking because you look like an Anchorbaby. Obviously, this brown cartoon doesn't quite look like someone. It could be like someone from Cleveland, but like, where are your parents from? Where are you from? Okay, how'd you grow up?
Cleveland.
Sure, it's annoying, but it's not that big a deal. The problem is that some people get bitten by mosquitoes a lot more than other people. I mean, a lot more. Whether it's on a date,
Oh, your English is so good.
Excuse me?
going grocery shopping,
You know,
Yeah, Minnesota confirmed. Daily Caller.
everything happens for a reason.
That one's funny. Everything happens for a reason. Does anyone actually do that? You're just out in a grocery store, and there's a person in a wheelchair. You're compelled to go up to them and be like, "Hey, it's gonna be okay. Everything happens for a reason." Could you imagine? Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? Who actually goes up to someone in a wheelchair and says, "Everything happens for a reason"? Like, how inflated of a head do you have to think that you should go up to a person in a wheelchair and tell them something like that. Obviously, you're an idiot. And you can see how when you take the wheelchair out and it's a black person's hair or something, you see that you're going to have these type of people out in public. What kind of, how big of a head do you have to think to call this a microaggression?
Commuting to work.
So when are you going to have a baby?
Watching TV.
We have to keep the Redskins name. It's part of our culture and history.
Or
You got to love that one, right?
just walking down the street with your partner.
I couldn't even tell you were gay.
Mosquitoes seem to pop up everywhere.
Do you know John?
Mosquitoes are white people, if you haven't realized.
I love Cher too.
And getting bit by mosquitoes every goddamn day.
Can I touch your hair?
Multiple times a day.
So pretty.
Can I touch it, please?
Can I please?
Is fucking annoying.
Like, that's not the world. This is not a good replacement. This is not a good replacement to the world. Microaggressions. That's just daily life now. That exists. That's not really. That's not a good replacement. That's not a good that's not an answer to the world. Okay? This is what y'all are replacing it with? Wow. So not only does the world suck, but it's lame too. It's lame and boring and jeez. Am I still streaming? Warning, current bit rate. Test. Troubleshooting. Hello, am I still streaming? Give me a 1 if I'm streaming still. Hello. We need better internet or something. Sorry, folks. Looks like everything's fine, though. Are we really that close? There's no way we're that close to the airport, are we? Snuggle. Where's Snuggle? Oh! No way, folks. We are much closer than I thought. We got to begin our descent, in fact, descent procedures. And I do see that you guys were trying to call me 760-515-3855. Oh, wait. Is that my number? Yeah, 760-515-3855. Call me back. I'll post the number in the chat here. I saw you were trying to call me. My bad. We are beginning our descent procedure here into Dallas, Fort Worth. Hope you've been enjoying the show so far. I got a call coming in. Oh, call me back. Call me back. You just tried calling me. Try again. All right. No way. Descent time. Huh. How much has that much time already passed? Amazing. Flight's going by fast. Hope you're enjoying it. Hey, 2 of you trying to call me, 760-515-3855. Try me back. 2 of you trying to call me, you can try again.
Call from
Markham, Ohio.
To accept, press 1.
I believe we have Art on board. Thank you, sir. You're on the air.
Man, what's up with Nikki, baby?
All is well, Art. We got Art Weisers on deck, chilling, Nick Stream style. What can I say? Gotta love it. Full moon is out.
Yep. Tell my main man to throw me a couple of them art wires. We're gonna crack them open. We're gonna get this party started.
Nice. How's your Friday so far, sir?
Man, it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad that I called you because I'm like, man, I wanted to kind of jump back into what I was saying the other day or whatnot. So I'm just kind of glad that I got to get on here with you, so I can
give us a refresher.
Okay. First thing first or whatnot. CJ called in the other day or whatnot, and CJ was making the point that there's jobs out here or whatnot, and my thing is this: what is he looking at? Is he looking at these what's the Biden crack-onomics or something? Is that what he's listening to or following? Where is he?
You know what? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure where he was getting his stats, but what do you think about his statement? When you're driving around in your area, do you see a lot of hiring signs? I do around my area. It sure seems like there's a lot of openings.
You talking about high school jobs?
Yeah, I am talking about fast food jobs and all that.
You talking about
that's just what I see though.
Longhorn Steakhouse. You talking about McDonald's. You talking about CVS.
Those
you
are
jobs.
jobs.
About a gas station job. And I ain't saying it ain't nothing against them jobs, but the first thing first is you got one person that was in office and the inflation and everything was going down or whatnot. Jobs were doing good.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Now you get another person that's in office with the Biden crack-onomics or whatnot, and I'm pretty sure, and I factually know this because they was pencil whipping the paperwork trying to make it look like that there were a whole bunch of jobs, but we already know that there was a lot of these big corporation companies that was getting shut down.
Yeah, interesting. I've heard that that's been the MO for a while. Like even Obama, there was this big buzz about him adding so many jobs when it turns out that it was like this huge stimulus package, and it was all just like jobs that were like made up. It's like, let's pump a bunch of money into this building, and you just made up a whole bunch of temporary construction jobs, but it's not really increasing the economy and making lasting jobs. It's just like pump and dump.
Temporary jobs, just like the YouTube was laying off a lot of people. A lot of these tech companies was laying off a lot of people or whatnot. Twitter, they laid off a lot of people or whatnot. A whole bunch of them. I can't remember all the names, but if you getting these good channels that are telling you these factual evidence or whatnot, which the left would call the MAGA extremists or the conservatives, conspiracy theorists, then you would know this. I mean, you would. It's only common sense or whatnot. Then he said something about that. These American corporations, ain't obligated to hire American citizens. Has he ever heard of the Bill of Rights? The Bill of Rights, that is for the American citizens. I'm pretty sure. Don't get me wrong. I'm not no lawyer or whatnot. But
right.
That's what the whole Bill of Rights and with the whole thing with the amendments was made for the slaveries and whatnot, so people wouldn't be getting discriminated on when they going out here getting these jobs because of their color, their sex, or maybe their religious beliefs.
Yeah. And so if you're an American company, I think you do have a duty to the American people. I don't care what. I don't care what governor law you show me. If you tell me, oh well, this Supreme Court decision means they don't have to, well then that's an evil decision because you're an American company. You have a duty to the American people. What is that? What the heck?
And if you don't have an obligation to hire the American people, you better have a reason. Do they have a criminal history?
And if there isn't, then we better make a law forcing companies to hire Americans first before anyone else.
Well, it's already in there, man. If not, you would a lot of these black people that got some of these jobs in these judges, any job around here where you see black people in these high positions.
Yes,
that's the reason why they got them. So you can't discriminate on them or whatnot. Gotcha. That's where your affirmative action stuff comes into play. That's basically what affirmative action is.
I hear you, man.
It really was meant for this. It's really supposed to be for disadvantaged, whether you white or black, coming from a messed up situation.
Right.
But it would typically be the blacks.
CJ was, I'm pretty sure, against employers hiring illegals. But you know, there's a problem with legal immigration too. That's the whole thing, and it's not just like an illegal thing. And what he was saying as a recap, he was saying that employees, citizens, you know, people, individuals don't have a claim and a right to the jobs employers have. What do you think about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's nonsense. That comes in your Bill of Rights. And just like I was saying, either a person is physically not fit to work that job. Let's say you're a warehouse job, and they don't want to hire you because you walk with a limp in the job, or you got a physical disability with your arm to where you can't physically lift up them boxes. That would be their reason for not hiring you. Or you got a criminal record, and they like, well, we don't want this violent person that got 2 murders or whatnot working in this facility, which Obama made a law to where I thought he passed a law to where they give the companies tax breaks and get them paid. They give companies tax breaks if they hire felons. So that ain't even true. So what I'm saying is what he's saying with his lefty liberal loony talking points is don't make no sense. And then another thing is only way a company on American soil ain't obligated to hire American citizens. They better be a private corporation, just like if you know, like a bar where you go to drink at or whatnot. Yeah. If you're open to the public, you can't. This not say you can't come in here. Now, if it's a private club to where you got memberships or whatnot, to where you got to sign up and pay a monthly fee, then that means that your bar, it ain't open to regular citizens. It means that it's a club only. You have to be basically, and I'm not for sure if that applies to jobs, but I'm speculating that it is or whatnot. But if you on American soil, you best believe you got an obligation to hire American citizens or whatnot. And then I want to excuse myself because
if I could just interject, I mean, I mainly agree, and my thing about that point was it's like I don't think we need to be so obtuse and be like, well, specifically the citizen does not have a claim to the corporation's job, but I don't think we need to be so obtuse. Do you want to hire Americans or not? Is the question. And are you going to hire Americans or not? And if not, are you going to hire Americans first or not? And if not, why?
Yeah. Now I don't know if CJ prancing around in his house in his get them daddy shorts or whatnot or not, but
no, you violating now.
Yeah, but my Panamanian girlfriend, she speaks very good English, and she hardly has a hard time understanding.
You violating now. He did try to violate you though. But I'm not encouraging this. But go on.
Nah, ain't that what he said that about me, Nick baby? Hey, Lord baby, pass Nicky baby, Art Wiser, please. Or hold up, Art Walkie's best, because we know we don't mess with them. Art Wise.
Thank you. Yeah, we're on Trump Force One. I mean, come on.
Yeah, for sure. So she might speak proper and all that good English or whatnot, but this is America, baby. These blacks over here like Art. I know good English. It might be a little bit broken, but I'm using a lot of ebonics and a lot of broken English. Don't be so hard on Art. I come from Columbus Public Schools and whatnot. Keyword public schools. You know what I mean? But Art got a logical thinking brain though. That's all she needs to be worried about. Art ain't no beta. And I'm not sneak dissing. I'm just gonna speak the facts or whatnot. You can go over here. You can go over here and date all these overseas 90-day fiance on TLC and whatnot. Go over there and date all these foreigners and whatnot. But if you can't get American females, then when you go over there and try to get them foreign females, you ain't gonna be able to get them. The same way the American females look at you and you a beta over here in America, and they don't want you because you got too much female and mama spirit in you. They don't want you. The same way they gonna look at you when you go over there to date them overseas, and the only thing they want from you is that green card so they can be American citizens. So when you come over here, he gonna drop you like a bad habit or a hot tamale straight out the oven.
Yeah, that I think a lot of guys don't realize that there's just already human nature's already messed up. So when you start messing with like the foreign stuff and being a passport bro, You don't realize you're messing with like a lot. You're adding even more desires and motivations and agendas that you may not be aware of, and you may even think about. You're like, oh well, she just wants me for my green card. Nah, but you're just playing with that, and it's too messy. You don't need to be doing that. And I think a lot of guys don't realize they're doing it because out of a misplaced wanting to find a easier to obey woman and all that, not realizing the spirit is the same in all of them, buddy. And personally speaking, I think that's more dangerous. A quiet foreign woman who's playing it up. That's even more dangerous. I'd rather her reveal herself. I'll be at least be able to handle that. You know, she's clingy or angry. I can at least handle that as opposed. Right. To be fair though, CJ said his Filipino girl obeys and all that. But you're making a lot of sense, man. And I think that a lot of guys, passport bros, whatever, don't realize what they're doing.
Nick, what female don't obey when you first start messing with them? Dude, what is he talking? What is he talking about? You have to, even the people that's married for 20 and 30 years, they go through ups and downs or whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They still learning and figuring stuff out 10, 15 years into their marriage that they might not have known. You got to be dating somebody for a while for you to really get to understand and know who they are. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And another thing is, I'm 37 years old. Just had a birthday, just passed or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't our first time around the block. You know what I mean? I had a neighbor when I was about 12 years old, all the way up to about 16. She was dating, a Mexican was dating a military dude or whatnot. And more than likely, he's doing the same thing CJ was doing. And he brought her over here or whatnot. He was from the military or whatnot. She all submissive in the house. But as soon as she got over here on American soil or whatnot, these black females and these white liberals, they get to talking. Oh, why you don't got to listen to him?
Oh,
this
no.
and this and this and that. And guess what she ended up doing? Straight to court.
Right.
Oh, he's a Looney Tune. Take the kids away from me. Make the dude. Yes, she did. She played the same liberal game. And
song and dance, yep.
Same song and dance. And guess how many more kids she had? Because she only had 2 kids at that time. Guess how many times? I think she got married like 2 more times after that dude, and had 2 more kids after that or whatnot. So yeah, it all sounds good or when it all looks good when they in the house making them sandwiches and running that vacuum cleaner. When they listening to you.
Right.
Let me lick you up and down when they doing all that. Do you say stop? Yeah, all that music playing, all that slow jamming playing, it sound good or whatnot. Until she flipped that script. Now you over here looking like the Mexican girl in the Filipino in the United Kingdom girl. She don't went lefty liberal loony. It's my body, my choice. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Keep it up, buddy. And I got one more another point. I want to hear what you guys say though.
All right, cool. No. I just totally lost what I was going to say about that.
No, I ramble on a couple more seconds. Let you get in and stop me any time.
No. Thank you.
So with RDR, now this is RDR's fault. I kind of lost my train of thought yesterday. I think it was yesterday. So what I was saying about the person, first thing first, we all know that if you bring illegals or whatnot or immigrants over here and they on welfare or government assistance, that's gonna make your taxes go up. All these government little, not buildings, but government social plans or whatnot that they have, like what you saying? I'm trying to think. Food stamps, all these basically they make these breakdown of these buildings or whatnot, where they give in, you get free health care, free food, free housing. All these are paid
these
for
bills.
by
You mean? You said these buildings?
Say it again. Well, no, I'm just saying basically all these organizations, basically.
Yeah.
Social organizations that they start up, they are being funded by the taxpayers.
Yes.
So that's gonna make your taxes go up. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay,
right. As we subsidize more, as you give to some, you know, you got to take from somewhere, and you got to, those prices go up. I'm following you.
Yeah, all of that. Okay, even the jails. Teflon John, he talking about. He said, no, he didn't. That wasn't Teflon. Somebody said something. Even the jails, you can put them in jail or whatnot. That's still, I think taxpayers are paying for that. So even the immigrants is coming over, going to jail, that's coming out of taxpayers.
No, it is.
Money.
Or if they go to the hospital, or if they go to the hospital.
If they go to the hospital, all
that's
that
$3,000 like a visit. Yeah, for sure.
All that makes your tax money. That makes your tax money go up. Okay, so you like, so what's that? So that makes the value of the dollar less, and it makes the price of living go up. Meaning you paying more for your even with the kids going to school, you paying more for your school, your houses or whatnot, or because that it makes the cost of the houses go up or whatnot, food, all of that, because you putting strain on the system.
Right.
Okay, so
I'm following you.
I'm trying to make sure I run through all my points.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was saying, and he contradicted himself because he basically said that Art didn't know what he was talking about, but he came back and turned around and said, well, because you fixed him up. When you broke into him.
Oh, you saw that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I watched it. You broke into him, and you basically was like, well, ain't that what Art was saying? And he, just like the lefty liberal, instead of them just agreeing and saying, yeah, Art was right. They always got to try. Well, he's telling the truth, but let me tell my truth. It's only one truth. You might have just seen one extra punch, but the fact is that the person threw the punch first. You might have just seen one more punch that I didn't see. So instead of Art just seeing one punch, you seen 2 and 3 punches. But that truth is the truth. It's only one truth. The punch was thrown by Art. You see what I'm saying? And that's what he fails to realize, is that he's basically saying the same thing I'm saying, but he just don't want to agree that I'm right. He want to try to make it and flip it to something else. So what I was saying about the drug dealer not wanting to get the job or whatnot is basically is that if they coming over here and they taking jobs at a lower rate, then meaning like American wants $17 an hour because they got to keep up with the food, the housing. But the illegal immigrants, they only want $13 and $12, and they gonna live 7 people to a house. American citizens ain't used to living no 7 people to no house, and all working at no $13 rate. So they gonna cut the American citizen out. Somebody give me an Art Weiser best or whatnot.
So we'll get Art Weiser, please, our lovely flight attendants. Here's the thing I'm trying to. No, please go ahead.
So you gonna cut the American citizen out or whatnot, and this is the point that I was making about the drug dealer. It's plenty of drug dealers, and allegedly, when I was doing my thing in the street, allegedly, oh yeah, I was making more money than a lot of these, probably some politicians and everything on a daily and a weekly basis. So trust me, Art knows that. Why would I stop selling or allegedly selling bud or whatnot and go work at McDonald's when they only getting paid $13 an hour? Because due to the illegal immigration, they don't drove the price of these jobs down or whatnot. So of course, a regular American high school black teen ain't gonna want to get no job when they seeing the drug dealer riding up and down the street, bumping his Pimp C/Chad Butler or whatnot, his Master P, I miss my dogs, or playing all that with his gold chains. Of course, they ain't gonna want to do that because the girls don't like that. So what I'm saying is that it's gonna in turn gonna hurt the black and the white American community or whatnot, because they are not able to survive and eat off these jobs because they're being undercut by these illegal aliens and these foreigners coming over here undercutting the American citizens.
So
that's what I was saying about that's what I was saying about the drug dealer or whatnot, as far as getting a regular job. And yeah, it ain't a lot of jobs around here, but basically your low paying jobs, your basic regular corner jobs, your gas station job. Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
I'm totally following you, man. Thank you for making that clear and your points there on immigration and inflation. Here's what I've been trying to understand about inflation, right? and I have a cursory understanding, and those basically shutting down the economy, 2020 COVID, strain on the whole production system and what's it called, the whole production line, right? You got issues, and you're adding to inflation in a number of different ways, right?
Yes, you are.
So, but here's what I'm trying to understand, I guess, strategically or philosophically, in an abstract way, what the strategy is here, because at the same time that they're letting in all these people, and the idea is they're straining the system, inflation's going up, and subsidizing these illegals and these people coming in their lives is putting a strain on the American taxpayer and the people here. But that's making inflation go up, okay? But yet at the same time, I'm trying to I'm trying to understand the strategy of the people allowing this, right? Because we can all agree, and if you disagree, you can call. But I've made that pretty clear, I think, that they don't want to fix immigration. Okay, because they don't. No, they're letting them in. You would think they would have done E-Verify yesterday and made it illegal in the whole country to hire illegals. That would, you know what I mean? Things like that. Yeah. The wall, etc. Yeah. I can give you multiple reasons that prove the government doesn't want to fix it. Okay, so then what's the strategy? Okay, let in all these people to keep the Ponzi scheme going, right? The Americans here aren't making enough babies. You need people to keep it going, and we don't want to shrink. We want to keep going up, 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 up. So we need more people. Start
bigger government.
So start letting them in, and cultural importance be damned. Let them in and change the country, but as long as we got people, okay. But if that's the strategy, then doesn't that almost imply? Now this doesn't justify these evil people's actions, but doesn't that almost imply? Go ahead and
drop that shit. Go ahead and drop it.
Doesn't that almost imply that our own responsibility here? Where they're evil. They're evil for wanting to let him pour in just to keep the gravy train going, but at the same time, it's like, oh, but we didn't keep it going. We didn't make the babies. We didn't. You know what I mean?
Well, man, it all goes.
And
back
we want
to
this life. We want this
family.
decadent life. We want the Uber Eats. We want the low prices. We wanted all the stuff, but we didn't put in we didn't make the babies. So we can't have both.
Now everybody in here knows, just like you said, Uber Eats. Yeah. You see a lot of foreigners and immigrants doing the Uber Eats and doing the Uber Lyft and stuff like that. That's not gonna always be around. You see what I'm saying? So everybody's just like me doing what I used to do back in the day in the streets. You ain't gonna always be able to sell drugs. You ain't gonna always be be able to do Uber Eats. They already got some, even with the construction jobs. They basically, you not gonna always be able to have construction jobs where you got manual people building houses. They're making machinery right now to where they can have machines build the houses for you. So they're constantly with technology making stuff that where to cut the manual work out to where they don't need humans to do the work. So when a lot of these jobs are cut out, where are you gonna do with a lot of these anchor babies, these legal and illegal immigrants? Because the same thing that's happening with the American citizens where they homeless and they out here doing drugs or whatnot. And these are all past generation Americans where they granddads and dads served in Vietnam, the Iraq War, and any of these other wars. Those are them kids. So what you think going to end up happening to a lot of you ain't doing nothing but adding on top of the homelessness, which a lot of them are already going to be homeless when they come over here because they don't have nowhere to go. And the Catholics is basically involved in the child trafficking and trafficking of illegal immigrants, and a lot of these other organizations are caught up into this trafficking by basically storing them in these churches, basically making underground things to where they house these people and basically hiding them. What I'm saying is that the gravy train ain't gonna always have gravy on it.
Right.
The well,
Tough
at
times
some point,
are coming.
Yeah,
or at least it seems like they're coming, right?
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? I mean, you didn't have a plan for the American citizens that's already out here homeless. So what plan are you gonna have for these people?
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna have no plan. Y'all had a entry plan for going into Iraq, and the Saddam plan when y'all invaded Saddam and went over there to fight Bin Laden and a lot of these other places. They always have a plan to go into war, but they don't never have no plan when they exit. They always have a plan to get American people into some stuff, but these liberals and these lefty loonies don't never have no exit plan. They get you into the stuff, and then everybody's like, we don't know how, just like the Ayanna Pressley, the Democratic representative of Massachusetts or whatnot. They always, ain't no problem with the immigrant, or there ain't no, what she say? She said, the border is secure or whatnot.
Yeah. Wow, just straight up lying. That's the craziest part.
Just straight up lying. But my thing is this, I'm trying not to get sidetracked. My thing is this, sorry, I'm being long-winded.
No worries. We'll end off here. Go on.
You letting them come over here or whatnot, but you don't have nothing. You don't really have. The only thing she can say is with big government, keep giving them funding. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Bigger government, keep giving them funding, which ain't doing nothing but coming off the taxpayers or whatnot. Basically, man.
To keep it going, it's more lucrative to not fix it.
Well, yeah, and it's so sad that the Republicans or whatnot. That's what I was gonna say. She's saying the system was already broken. That's what Ayanna Pressley, the Democrat of Massachusetts, was saying.
Mm-hmm.
The system was already, it wasn't broken when Trump was in there, because they wasn't coming across here like that. He was trying to build a wall, so it wasn't broken. It was getting fixed right there.
And legally too, he was remain in Mexico, for example. They had remain in Mexico under Trump. That's huge. Yeah. Because you can't just you got these people coming over, and they cross country after country after country, and they're supposedly running as refugees. You'd think they would stop at the next safe place, but they never do. They come straight here. So he had remain in Mexico. What did Biden do? He undid remain in Mexico.
He undid it. So she's saying that the system was always broken or whatnot, and it wasn't. It might have been a little broken, but they basically trying to get their next voter blocks to come in, which is the illegal immigrants or whatnot, and she just flat out telling a bold-faced lie. And one more thing I want to say is,
saying stuff is broken is not a solution. So fix it. Go on.
And it ain't no excuse for it to allegedly be broken, because it shouldn't have never been going on in the first place. Yeah. And the only reason why it is broken is because you keep feeding the cat, and he keep coming back to the house, giving them job visas.
Yeah.
Giving them Anchorbaby status or whatnot.
Yep. Repeal the 14th. Repeal the 14th.
Yeah. Of course they're gonna keep coming if they seeing when they coming that they being let in.
Yeah.
Of course they're gonna keep coming. That's only common sense. And my thing is this: the NFL football teams, they have a limit to how many people can play on the football team, because that's the salary. I think it's only 53 players that can play on the NFL football team. It's only certain amount of people that can play on the college football team. It's only 12 players that can play on the NBA and the college team. They have limits for a reason, but we don't seem to think that we should have limits for the border or whatnot. One more thing, and I'm gonna get off here. I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Whatnot. So you know that CEO lady that just got killed by that raper dude, and what was that?
Oh, you're talking about Baltimore. I heard about this.
You can pull her picture up.
Yeah. Baltimore.
Pull her picture up. And see if you find the.
This is the sickness I was talking about earlier with white people. But go on.
But see if you can find the part where it said that she waved him into the house, and I'm gonna break down to what happened.
Exactly. Let me see.
I'm trying to wait for you to find
Baltimore. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, 26, murdered in Baltimore apartment. is Forbes under 30 tech CEO who launched a 7 million eco company. This is her right here. Oh, here, let me put on browse there. I do have a picture of her up.
So is it the part they got something in there to where I don't know if you got the clip up where it's saying that she stayed in a building where you have to buzz the person in. So allegedly, this liberal lefty loony, they want to help everybody. Oh, let's be nice. Oh, come on in. Let's be nice. This is a prime example of what's going to happen to a lot of these white liberal and black liberal females.
Wow.
Y'all waving these people in or whatnot, thinking everybody, this is a prime example of what I said, and this is a smaller projection. This is a smaller projection on a smaller screen of what's going to happen on the bigger projection at the theater. This ain't nothing but a small analogy right in front of your face of what's going to happen at a bigger trajectory with the border, how liberals think in life with their relationships, how they do at jobs or whatnot. They come, let's hold the door open for the black or whatnot.
Right.
Oh, he's just a normal black or whatnot. I don't want to see.
And let me ignore any instinct telling me to not open the door because I don't want to be racist. I mean, do you remember there was this woman who was destroyed by the media because she didn't let this black guy into the building. She had not she didn't recognize him. And he took out his phone, started filming. This racist white woman won't let me in. She didn't buzz me in because she's, I don't know, racist. And she got destroyed. In the media, everywhere. And she was just, didn't feel safe.
But check this out. If I'm going into the building, well, this is common sense, man. I mean, a conservative or somebody that's logical like me, I mean, I might just hold the door up because I'm a man. Oh, you're toxic masculinity. We're all equal. Well, already are gonna have a better chance if somebody try to grab me or hit me or do something to snatch me up. I'm gonna hit you with a couple stone cold stunners and then pull a couple of these Art 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 on your forehead. I'm not gonna just. I'm stronger than a female naturally, but listening to these, let the boys play in the girls' sports and the girls play in the boys' sports because we all equal. She, in her illogical mind, she thinks that, I'm cool or whatnot. And she said, instead of her just letting the door slam and letting him bring himself on in, if he stayed there, he'd come on right in. A couple taps of the button, he was going to come in. This idiot box let him come in, and he ended up killing her and allegedly raping her. And she got what she deserved. I'm not wishing death on nobody, but sometimes you just bring stuff on yourself. From you just
it's just a mess too because, like I explained, it's like there's this pernicious public attitude, and not everyone, like you said, she's a woman too. I know she's a CEO, but not everyone has this courage or anything. And you see how brainwashed and brainwashed white people are, and blacks, and everyone is. And so we also have to consider the pernicious effects of this prevailing culture. Any fear she may have had of not wanting to be racist may have very well killed this woman.
Yes, it did. Or toxic. You don't want to be mansplaining or womansplaining, toxic masculinity. Let me treat everybody the same or whatnot because I don't want to be called a racist or whatnot. And I'm a girl, and I'm just as strong as a dude or whatnot. And it ended up costing her life. And this the thing that what kills me is a lot of this stuff be already happening. The news just don't be covering it.
Yes.
Well, with these females or whatnot, a lot of this stuff be happening or whatnot, and the news just don't cover it. And I'm sorry, she got what she deserved. I ain't wishing death on nobody. I'm not laughing at her. I'm not no liberal.
But isn't it so sick of the liberal media and blacks at large who basically are okay with this prevailing culture where you can't even you can't even close you feel threatened in your own apartment building, or else you might be plastered all over the news for not buzzing a black man in. It's so sick of the world.
You know what? More than likely, she pushes the same agenda that got her.
That's
killed
the thing. I read that too. She's all into these liberal things too.
Yes, that's what I've been seeing too or whatnot. And yeah, just like I said, RDR, we don't laugh at them or whatnot.
Art,
It's really sad because you put everybody in there.
I want to move along a little faster here, man. We've been on the phone for quite a bit.
One more thing, I promise, and I'm getting off here. This is a warning to all your guests in your audience and you too.
Thank you.
Keep your kids close to your whatnot. Watch them when they go into these hotels or whatnot, because I heard they got a lot of these underground bunkers or whatnot, to where they've been housing illegal immigrants and stuff in these hotels or whatnot. And basically, you got a lot of foreigners coming over here. So this ain't the old America in the 1950s when you can send your kids to school with a sandwich slit down the middle in their lunchbox and they can lottie-die, get down the street and go to school. You got a lot of people over here. You don't know who they are, what they got going on. So you got to drive your kids to school. Watch your kids, because your kids will get snatched up. And kid, you think like this lady letting people come into the building behind you and thinking everything all sweet because you watching the news and believing everything that the news is saying, and your kids will be up on a milk carton with a call this number if you see this kid. Keep it up. So everybody watch your kids or whatnot, keep your kids close or whatnot, and we still rolling with Trump and we love America.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Art. Appreciate your call. Call me again.
Catch you later, Gator.
Nice. Right on, y'all. Spent a little time. My apologies there. Is this one for Art? Whoa. Okay, no, hold on. That was a joke. Whoa, okay, so we're flying, man. We're flying. We got a lander. We're taking our final bank here. We're kind of a little too high up, way too high up. We got to get down to like 2,000 feet. And we're flying fast, and we're not that high up. We're going to make it, y'all. Nobody panic. Oh, man, I'm kind of forgetting. There's like a couple things I wanted to comment on there with Art's call. Kind of went there a little while. Appreciate your patience, y'all. Kick back and relax. We got to get this landing. We got to stick this landing.
left me, I was in love with her. I was destroyed by all of that. You know, if it's happened to you, if you're listening to this and it's happened to you, then you'll understand what goes on. You're consumed with this sort of universe of grief. And it so crowds your head that you can't find any way around it. And you'd say, well, you've got to move on. But he would say to you that you actually can't find your way around this sort of inchoate pain.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the path here. All is well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are in Dallas Fort Worth International Airport. We landed. Local time is 8:56 p.m. Make sure that before... No, get it. Stop getting up. Stop getting up. Don't get up before we stop. I don't know why y'all keep doing that. Okay, let me calm down. Make sure before you open up your overhead compartments that you do check, as they may have shifted in the middle of our journey here. We don't want any accidents before we leave. Make sure you talk to our lovely flight attendants as they may be able to help you with your connecting flight. We do hope you enjoyed your flight today here on Anchorbaby Airlines. And we know you have so many different options to fly, but you continue to fly with us, and your patronage, your continued patronage is appreciated. Thank you, everyone. We hope you had a nice flight. Safe travels, and I hope to have you back on Anchorbaby Airlines once more. Thank you for flying next stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen, nice. Thank you so much for being with me today. We had ourselves a nice little show. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for all the callers, the super chats, and everybody. In fact, I got a couple of super chats here. We didn't really get into some topics here. It's been a loosey-goosey week, but I got some topics cooking up with you guys. Maybe even some guests. Jessica with the super chat, thank you, says best flight music I've had. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Jessica, for the super chat. Hillary T with the super chat, thank you so much for that. Great. Over there on Rumble, everybody who's been supporting me, thank you for that. Much appreciated. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you guys. How about possibly tomorrow? Make sure you follow and subscribe and you click the notification bell, because there might be a surprise Saturday stream for those who waited to land with us today. You get a little teaser. There may be a surprise Saturday morning stream. I want to do a nice long stream, get into some VR chat, some gaming, some topics, calls, extravaganza, music, original stuff. We're going to try and do it. We're going to try and do that, y'all. So make sure you click the notification bell. See if you can tune in to possibly tomorrow's surprise Saturday stream. All right, y'all. What can I say here? That's beautiful. Appreciate it, y'all. Church on Sunday. Possible stream tomorrow. What else, y'all? Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Thank you so much. Let me sign out. with the song we came in with. Take care, y'all. Peace.
You're probably the only one, though it's hard to admit that can't save me. Yeah, and I'll never like to ask for a helping hand, but I do know. Yeah, I'll look into your eyes, this hard-blooded stare. Part of me wants to hurt you. Can you ever do that? No. Stories that transforms us, yeah. But I think I am the only one breathing on this planet tonight, yeah. The cheap sweat smothered makeup makes her face look as if they're solving and flood grace in the darkness now. 100 I do believe in heaven and I do believe it's time, yeah, it's time now, yeah. Five-inch wide high heels. I do believe in heaven and I do believe it's real. It's okay now, okay. There's scarlet leisure, men's blood pressure, scattered their love lecture. Come here and be gorgeous for me now. After all, I think it's evident that I am God's favorite one. Yeah. And now is the time I should have whatever. Desire. Yeah. I look into your eyes, staring back into mine. Part of me wants to hurt you, part of me wants to tear you out. Well, I don't do that now. 100-year wine. I do believe in heaven and I do believe it's time. Faceless company, it don't matter much to me. 5-inch wide high heels. I do believe in heaven and I do believe it's real. Dream like mirror chase, I'm positive.